My name is Aleza. I am 24 years old, and this is my story. This is not a story about cheating. This is not a story about anger or loud fights. This is a story about silence. The quiet kind, the slow kind, the kind that enters a relationship quietly and destroys it without anyone noticing. I never thought silence could hurt so much. I thought silence meant peace. I learned the truth too late. When I met Ryan, everything felt simple. He was calm, soft-spoken, and gentle. He was not loud, not dramatic, not emotional like me. But I liked that about him. We met during my last year of college. He was a friend of my cousin. The first time we talked, he smiled a lot and listened carefully. That made me feel important. He asked real questions. He remembered small details. He made me feel seen. We started meeting more often. Coffee dates, long walks, late-night phone calls. We talked about dreams, about fear, about life after studies. Back then, silence felt comfortable. It felt safe. We could sit together without speaking, and it felt warm. I thought, this is love. After 1 year, we moved in together. It was exciting. I imagined lazy mornings, shared dinners, and deep talks at night. At first, it was beautiful. We cooked together. We laughed. We planned the future. He would ask me, "How was your day?" And I would talk for hours. He listened. He smiled. I felt loved. But slowly something changed. Not suddenly, not clearly, just slowly. Ryan started coming home tired. He spoke less. He spent more time on his phone. I told myself, work stress. When I asked him what was wrong, he said, "Nothing. I'm fine." At first, I believed him. I didn't want to be the girlfriend who complains too much. I didn't want to push, so I stayed quiet. Weeks passed. Our conversations became short. How was work? Okay. What did you eat? Whatever. Sometimes we sat on the sofa together, but it felt like we were in different worlds. The silence between us started to feel heavy. I missed his voice. I missed his attention. I missed us. He smiled and said thank you, but something was missing. He stopped asking about my feelings. He stopped noticing my sadness. I would sit next to him, wanting to talk, but the words stayed stuck inside my chest. One night, I finally spoke. I said, "Ryan, I feel like we don't talk anymore." He looked tired. He said, "You're overthinking, Aleza." That sentence hurt, not because it was angry, but because it ignored my feelings. I said nothing after that. From that day, I started changing. I shared less. I smiled less. I laughed less. I felt lonely, even though I wasn't alone. I would lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, listening to his quiet breathing. I wanted to say, "Please talk to me. Please don't shut me out." But I stayed silent, because he stayed silent first. Silence became our routine. Morning silence, dinner silence, night silence. No fights, no drama, just distance. I started asking myself questions. Did I do something wrong? Did he stop loving me? Am I not enough? My confidence slowly disappeared. One evening, I came home crying. I had a bad day. My boss shouted at me. I felt small and broken. I sat next to Ryan and said, "Today was really hard for me." He nodded and said, that was all. No hug, no questions, just silence. Something broke inside me that day. I stopped expecting anything. I stopped hoping. I learned to sit with my pain quietly. But pain does not disappear when ignored. It grows. One night, while washing dishes, I asked him softly, "Do you still love me?" He looked surprised, then said, "Of course. Why do you ask such things?" But his eyes did not match his words. Love is not only said, it is felt, and I wasn't feeling it anymore. Days turned into months. We lived together, but emotionally, we were strangers. I missed arguments, because arguments mean someone still cares. Silence means someone already gave up. One afternoon, I looked at old photos of us laughing, talking, holding hands. I cried quietly. I realized something painful. Silence didn't come suddenly. It came because we stopped communicating, and I was tired of begging for words. That night, I made a decision. I would speak one last time, not with anger, not with tears, but with honesty. I sat across from him and said, "Ryan, I feel invisible in this relationship." He stayed quiet. I continued, "I don't need perfection. I just need communication." He finally spoke, "I don't know how to talk about feelings." Those words explained everything, but they came too late. I looked at him and realized something heartbreaking. Love without communication slowly dies, and silence had already done its damage. After that conversation, the room felt heavy. Ryan sat quietly, looking at the floor. I waited. I hoped he would say more. But silence returned. Not the peaceful silence from the beginning of our love. This silence felt empty, cold. I realized something painful in that moment. Ryan was not a bad man. He was just emotionally closed. And love cannot survive behind closed doors. That night, we slept on the same bed, but there was a wall between us. Not a real wall, an emotional one. I turned to my side and cried quietly. I did not want him to hear. I did not want pity. I wanted connection. The next few days were strange. Ryan tried to act normal. He asked how my day was. He smiled more, but it felt forced, like someone trying to fix a broken glass with tape. I appreciated the effort, but my heart was already tired. One evening, I asked him something important. "Ryan, do you want to work on us?" He stayed quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I don't know how." That answer hurt more than a no, because it meant he cared, but not enough to change. I started remembering all the times I stayed quiet for him. All the nights I swallowed my feelings. All the times I chose peace over honesty. I thought silence would protect our love. Instead, it slowly killed it. I began to understand something about myself too. I was not asking for too much. I was asking the wrong person. Love languages are different. Mine needed words. His avoided them. We were speaking different emotional languages. One morning, while drinking coffee alone, I looked around the house. Our house. The walls held memories, laughter, dreams, but also unspoken pain. I asked myself a hard question. Can I live like this forever? The answer came quietly. No, that day I packed a small bag. Not because I wanted to leave forever, but because I needed space. When Ryan came home and saw the bag, he looked scared. Are you leaving? He asked. I said calmly, I need time to breathe. I stayed at my friend's place. For the first time in months, I felt lighter. I slept better. I cried freely. I talked openly. I realized how much of myself I had lost. Ryan texted me every day. Short messages. I miss you. Please come back. I'm trying. I believed he meant it. But meaning is not enough. Effort must follow. After 2 weeks, we met to talk. We sat in a quiet cafe. He looked nervous. I don't want to lose you, he said. I looked at him and replied softly. I didn't want to lose myself either. He listened, really listened, for the first time in a long time. He told me about his childhood, about a home where emotions were never spoken, where silence was normal. I understood him more, but understanding does not erase pain. I told him something honest. Ryan, love needs communication, not perfection, not money, just words. He nodded, but I could see fear in his eyes. Change scared him. We tried again, slowly. Therapy, long talks, awkward conversations. Some days were good. Some days were silent again. And each silence reopened old wounds. One night, after a small misunderstanding, he shut down again. No words, no explanation, just silence. I felt something final inside me. Not anger, clarity. That night, I understood the truth. Silence was his comfort zone. Communication was mine. And love should not feel like emotional starvation. The next morning, I said the hardest words of my life. I love you, but I cannot stay. He cried. I cried. There was no blame, just sadness. Leaving was painful, but staying would have destroyed me.
Months passed. Healing was slow. Some nights I missed him. Some days I missed the idea of him. But I was learning to speak again. To feel again. To exist fully. One evening, while journaling, I wrote something important. Silence is not peace when it hides pain. That sentence became my truth. I learned that love should feel safe, not lonely. That communication is not extra. It is essential. And silence, when used to avoid feelings, is emotional abandonment. Today, I am still 24. Still learning. Still growing. But now, I choose words over silence. Always. If you are listening to this story, and you feel unseen, unheard, or emotionally alone, please remember this: love should not make you feel invisible. Speak. Express. Choose yourself. Before silence chooses for you.